Yo guys, Rush G here. How are you all doing? And welcome back to the channel. This video today, it's one of two videos I'm going to do on V-Shift. So I'm going to show you guys like just simple options, solutions to wake up V-Shift. Just before we go into the video, just to explain V-Shift. So V-Shift is a mechanic that it's basically a backdash that's completely invincible to throws, invincible to attacks. If you whiff a normal or a special, some kind of attack during the start of a V-Shift, you get the slowdown. What's important to know is when you try and throw the opponent during their V-Shift input, you will get no slowdown. That's key to remember. During the slowdown, when it's activated, the opponent can go into something called V-Shift break, which you guys are probably aware of now, or they have the choice to actually go for a proper attack, so like a normal or a special, super for example. So it's dependent on the situation. If they go for the V-Shift break, it causes a knockdown and it does grey health on hit. On block it's -2. If they choose to go for a special attack, it will not do grey health, it will actually do proper damage. What dictates the choice they would go for is how whiff punishable the attacker's option is during the slowdown. That's key to remember, but I can explain that in a bit more detail now before I show you the specific tech against wake up V-Shift when you go for meaty throw. So Ryu should do a V-Shift on wake up. There you go, you can see that. If I throw, you can see there's no slowdown there. If I press a light attack, or any attack for that matter, it causes that slowdown, and that you hear that ping noise, which means that the V-Shift has been successful in terms of making the normal or the special whiff. If I whiff a heavy, you can see like Ken's very whiff punishable there. It's because of how slow the move is, the recovery frames. So basically, the crux of this whole concept, the reason why I've done this is because if you want to expose wake up V-Shift, meaty throw is the way to go. Which I'll explain why. Because you can punish basically the V-Shift after your throw whiffs. If you want to go for a low risk option, lights are good, depending on your character. Some mediums are good as well. And the reason I say this is because if they go for the V-Shift break there, I will recover. My meaty, as long as it's meaty, my meaty crouch and medium punch will recover, and I'll actually block the V-Shift break. If I however go for a heavy, like that, I cannot recover and block the V-Shift break, I will get hit. So the idea is moves with more recovery, or if you commit to say like crouch and medium kick fireball, what that will do is that will enable the opponent to punish those options. We're only looking at the wake up situation in this video, but that can happen in neutral as well, which is that if it happens in neutral, if they get a read or react to something with V-Shift, that's a very complicated situation, and there's no real video that can cover that because it's very situational on the options you present. Alright, so that's the introduction to the two-part series of the V-Shift on wake up. Right, so if you do meaty throw, what can you do? When they recover from the V-Shift and you go for meaty throw, so if it doesn't activate the slowdown, they're in a counter hit state. As you can see there, counter is not on. So yeah, how that counter hit. So you can go for options to punish the V-Shift after your meaty throw if it misses. See that? You can do medium punch as well, and if you're up close you can do stand heavy punch. Now stand heavy punch does give you a crush counter because of the counted state, but the range is not quite as good. So if I'm honest, I think the best option mid-screen is line breaker. I think medium kick into something is the best option. You can go into all sorts, you can do whatever you want. In the corner it's even better because they don't escape now as such. I mean, yeah, they make the throw whiff, but they're still stuck in a corner in that situation. The meaty throw versus the wake up V-Shift. So now it's even easier to deal with this. Stand heavy punch is a good option now. to deal with that. But you can still go for the other stuff I mentioned. So line breaker, that works. I quite like this option if I spot it. That meaty punch, and the only reason I like that is because it's faster startup. It's 5 frames, so I have more time to sort of acknowledge the fact that they've done the V shift and just confirm it. Maybe even better still, just wait and just do lights. Perhaps I'm not saying to go for any of these options. I'm just presenting them to you. Obviously that's 4 frame startup, so you have even more time, and you'd be surprised how much time how much time you have to react. So you can't really do that in the corner, the mid screen, because they backdash, but in the corner, see, there's some good damage there. So consider those options. So basically consider the throw. If you think they're going to go for V-shift, throw is a good option. The meaty throw, make sure it's meaty. And if they do input the V-shift, just remember you can punish them after they V-shift. It's a really good way to deal with that option. Guys, that's the video. That's part 1. In part 2, I'm going to cover the normal attacks. It's a little bit more complicated to show how the normals work, but I want to show you specifically one situation where you can punish their V-shift slowdown to V-shift break, and that's by using the lights and the mediums that recover when they do the wake up V-shift against your meaty. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope that's been informative. This is pretty well known knowledge, but I just thought I'd cover it specifically for Ken to break it down in a bit more detail. So guys, yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in part 2.